Patricia Boyson. I am the founder of the Koena Art Institute, and we are an art organization that focuses on Indigenous, queer and San heritage preservation through art. We are currently located at the Castle of Cloete, and we have another space in Seven Sisters Vineyards in Cape Town, South Africa. The exhibition is a group exhibition. It is a friendship building exhibition between South African Indigenous arts as well as the Philippines. So we, together with myself, who is the co-curator, and the co-curator, Thelmo Kunanan, from the Philippines, and the Philippines Consulate, have collaborated in bringing a Filipino artist to South Africa, where we are exploring the conceptual art of contemporary Indigenous artists.
My name is Thelmo Kunanan. I'm Filipino from the Philippines, and really it's my personal advocacy to share and spread Filipino art to the entire world as much as my networks will allow, and it's because of that we're in South Africa.
So I'm Pancho Piano from the Philippines, and this is my big opportunity to have here in Cape Town, and my background also for having here is I've done a lot of exhibitions outside the Philippines and one here in Cape Town.
Alongside Pancho Piano, he is co-exhibiting with Stanley Grootboom, who is a resident artist with the Koena Art Institute, as well as Garth Erasmus, who is also a resident Indigenous artist with the Institute. I had the privilege of being a part of the United Nations Indigenous Fellowship in Geneva, and there I communicated with Indigenous artists on a global perspective. And because I'm also very, as a curator, my curatorial process, I'm also very aware of how culture and society and how politics and how, the world is shaped around these things, and how, as a world, there's so many ills. And I thought that if we could take Indigenous people from all around the world and connect them through art, would that not be a great way to create unity in some form of way?
We first got involved with Koena Art Institute because my friends here in Cape Town recommended this gallery to me because they said it has a very forward-looking vision and centering on Indigenous arts, which is one of my personal advocacies. I've worked with Indigenous artists in the Philippines, one of is Pancho Piano, and I thought it would be a fantastic fit to bring Pancho here to exhibit with this gallery, and I thought with other South African Indigenous artists would be a fantastic move. And that's how it came about.
It was planned 3 years ago before COVID that Mr. Thelmo Badi Kunanan invited me, tell me that Kapans, if you want to exhibit in Cape Town, we will have our show there. But it was postponed. So when we see each other, so we can continue now our exhibit now here in Cape Town. So Consul Kunanan, I'm thankful for him to bring me here, and also to the people behind Consul Stephen and the Filipino community, our friends. So it was easy.
If you look at ancient Indigenous art, it had, stories of spirituality attached to it. And so does contemporary Indigenous art. And what you will see in all of the artworks, actually, whether it is Stanley's work, whether it's Garth's work, whether it's Pancho's work, is that element of spirituality that's being expressed in their work, but they are using contemporary methods and techniques of, expressing those stories.
For now, I'm doing this painting now, the exhibit first in Koena Art Institute. It is a combination of figurative and abstract.
Some of these stories that you will see that is expressed through the individual artist's work is also a story of displacement. It's a story of history. It's stories of how, you know, the artists themselves relate to those histories and those stories.
Stories get lost in time. And watching and meeting people, Cape Townians, over the years, the story of Filipinos and their contribution to the Western Cape and the establishment of Kalkbay was not known.
You know, Kalkbay is one of the most beautiful, if not the most beautiful town in the southern suburbs. It's a major tourism hotspot. You know, people come to Cape Town, love Kalkbay, they gotta visit Kalkbay. But very few people are aware that Kalkbay was founded by Filipinos about 120 years ago, when the seafarers from the Philippines were shipwrecked here in 1850, all the way to 1880, when more migrants from the Philippines came, mostly seafarers, settling in Kalkbay and flourishing.
The picture tells a story. You can see that in the center of the picture, there's a captain manning a vessel, and he's bringing in the Filipino settlers from the Philippines. And when he arrives here, the picture says that this is the trade that they most associated with, fishing.
Having Pancho here, who's a man of such talent, who's able to take a blank wall and look at it and almost go into a trance and put something, a whole story that encapsulated the rich history that we can see unfold is wonderful.
So I'm doing this mural for seafarers here in this bay, depicting the fishermen and the community, also the fishing village, and sharing with cultural exchange with Filipino and Cape Town. So I'm happy to share with this kind of collaboration.
Mandiba as a central figure, next to him is Winnie Mandela. So these are icons in the local South African concept. And we have also the indigenous tribes associated with South Africa that Pancho has encapsulated on the painting. And most important, the religious aspect Pancho has also introduced into the picture.
When you observe and when you look at all of the art pieces, you will see there's one constant thread of spirituality, constant thread of, you know, that sense of cultural expression and cultural celebration, and also cultural reverence in the works that are displayed in this exhibition.
We had the Manila Steps, that was 6 years ago. That was a big event for the Manilas or Filipinos, and that led to further projects or ideas, and that's how this came about.
If the Manila Steps wasn't named and the painting that Pancho produced, if that isn't displayed as far as the Filipino community's role in Kalkbay and the broader community is concerned, we would have been lost, and that would have been it.
This mural of Pancho Piano in Kalkbay is very important because we highlight that heritage. The heritage of the Filipino seafarers who were on the high seas way back when, in the last century, 2 centuries ago actually, coming to Kalkbay, and really even back then you could see that we were such connected people. You know, that Kalkbay, this little town in the southern suburbs, was a center really of a melting pot for different races. And it's because of this is what we want to highlight. We want to show that, you know, even from your brothers and sisters from across the sea, we're very closely connected.
Pancho's first mural that he's doing here in Kalkbay, we're hoping to use that to unlock the wealth of artistic talent that's out there in the Western Cape, in the communities along the coastline. And we're intending to use this to get school learners, art lovers, the ability to be able to put their own murals on walls to tell a story of the West Coast and the fishing community. That's what we're trying to do.
So this morning we had so many children from the different primary schools in the area. There must have been 2 or 3 different primary schools, and they all came to see the mural. And I thought that this was such a beautiful thing, because these young minds and these young hearts, seeing this and learning about the history of the place where they live, and seeing the mural and seeing the art involved, you know, it touches a place in their hearts. And they, you know, young minds are very impressionable. And when you implant that in them, that they realize that the world is so big but yet so connected.
We'd like to have global Indigenous works speak to each other and also look at how globally Indigenous art has evolved over time. So essentially with this exhibition, this is one of the starting points where we create relationships, global relationships, and using Indigenous art and art as a tool to build relationships as well as create unity, discuss things, talk about solutions, bringing people together and bringing cultures together through our art forms.
Both the Philippines and South Africa and its indigenous people suffered from colonialism. And there's a story over here. Both of them fought colonialism, both of them fought prejudice, both of them moved from colonial suppression to majority rule in South Africa, and there's a connection. And that connection shows freedom between two peoples, relations that can be kept going and can be fostered, and it's something to build on.
Art collaboration across the world, around the world, is such a powerful tool for social change, and it just shows that we're united and connected as a people. We may come from different places, different countries, but at the end of the day, we're part of the human race and we share common values, common principles, common aspirations. And I think that using art as a means for social change brings people together, and that's our ultimate aim here, to really show that we are an interconnected world, that we're very close, that we have more things in common than different.